Hello students, let's study e-commerce. This is Unit 6 and we will cover the information, service and business models. Let's study the concept of business model in e-commerce. A business model is an abstract representation of an organization, conceptual, textual or graphical, co-operational, financing arrangements. So, these are the arrangements which are needed to achieve its strategic goals and objective. So, when we talk about business organizations, they are kind of a graphical representation which depict a relationship of inputs, and these inputs are arranged in such a way whether they are manpower or machines or other abstract relationships. They are designed to achieve a goal or a strategy in the organization. Let us study the first model, which is known as the brokerage model. Brokers are the market makers. They bring buyers and sellers together and facilitate transaction. Brokers play an important role in B2B, that is business to business transactions, business to consumer, that is B2C, or consumer to consumer, that is C2C markets. Usually a broker charges a fee or commission for each transaction it enables. Now, when we talk about e-commerce, this is totally a virtual medium where generally people meet on websites. Now, what are brokers? They are market makers, that is they bring the buyers and sellers together, because if the manufacturer is busy with other activities of making, manufacturing and presenting, the broker is busy finding out the clients, and if clients are not understanding what is the details or what is the complexity of the market, the brokers make it easy. So, they do a easy task of connecting both the people in the market. Brokerage model also relate to marketplace exchange. This offers a full range of services covering the transaction process from market assessment to negotiation and fulfillment. Then is buy and sell fulfillment. It takes customers' orders to buy or sell a product or service, including terms like price or quantity. Now, marketplace exchange is generally a kind of an open forum is there, where you have full range of services, and for each service and a product you have a specialized person who understands the service and the product and gives you a kind of a consultancy. But buy and sell, you have specific product where the brokers generally understand the product and decide according to the customer a price and try to find either a buyer or seller for it. Demand collection system. Demand collection system is the prospective buyer makes a final binding or a bid for a specified good or service, and the broker arranges the fulfillment, that is the priceline.com. Here the buyer basically has a kind of a product and he goes for a bidding, and now if he has a rate contract, then somebody can enter into the market and he can fulfill the requirement, and this process is generally crystallized with the help of the brokers. Various types of brokerage model include the auction broker. It conducts auctions for sellers, example eBay. Transaction broker provides a third party payment mechanism, example PayPal. Distributor is an operation that connects a large number of product manufacturers with retail buyers. So, generally when we talk about brokerage model, the transaction in the digital media changes. We have auctions, we have even money transactions, and even distribution happening online, where generally the terms and conditions of buying and selling has changed because it is open and everybody can see the price, and here the transactions are quick because generally a kind of a fast mechanism is there to exchange the products and services through transaction of money. So, we have sites like eBay, PayPal who do the fast transaction, and distribution is basically connecting a manufacturer to a retailer. Search agent. This is a software agent for building, checking of the price and availability for a good. Virtual marketplace or virtual mall, a hosting service for online merchants that charges setup, monthly listing and other transaction fees. Search agents in form of softwares are there, where you generally fill your requirement and try to search. You get the availability of the product according to the price that you have specified. That is a classification done by this software. Then you have the virtual marketplace, where many people in terms of paying charges get their prices and their products listed in a way where they can find the right customers or the right retailers. Let us study the advertising model of e-commerce, which is an important business model working in the market. The web advertising model is an extension of the traditional media broadcast model. The broadcaster in this case is a website that provides content for readers. As we see advertising on TV, websites or e-content also have come as a long way in connecting customers to get the information and value for the products and services offered by the manufacturers and other retailers. Advertising model basically works in a way that websites that establish providing free interactive and repetitive services such as email, chat sessions, discussion forums, news, etc. aggregate web traffic or eyeballs. So, websites are also catching attention of people. Like generally we have created portals like emails, chat sessions or news websites, where the reading of the people is enough and the traffic is built up, by which we can portray the advertisements and get the transaction fees and money for the classified ads. Classifieds is the list items for sale or wanted for purchase. Listing fees are common. Example is the monster.com. Then you have user registration. This is the content based websites. Registration allows inter-session tracking of user surfing habits and thereby generates data of potential value in targeted advertising campaigns like NY Times or the New York Times. See, when we talk about the classifieds, these are basically the advertisements which are generally for the items which you want to sell in the market. They are specific, related to a particular identified sponsor is there. User registration is the content based website which offers you knowledge, and here the user can register. By this registration, the websites get the classification of the data and the details which can be used for most of the promotions built by the marketers in the advertising world. Contextual advertising or the behavioral marketing. This is a freeware developers who bundle adware with their product and delivers advertising links or pop-ups as the user surfs the web. Content targeted advertising is the Google identifies the meaning of a web page and then automatically delivers relevant ads when a user visits that page. Example is Google. We have behavioral marketing, where generally the freeware developers try to develop ads which are related to the reading and the psychological habits of the people, and Google has developed the kind of the basic content and which is generally used when the readers are surfing for information. So, they generally try to store the data about the reading habits of the people and give the ads according to their reading habits. Infomercials. This is the animated full screen ads placed at the entry of a site before a user reaches the intended content. Then is the ultramercials. They are the interactive online ads that require the user to respond intermittently in order to wade through the message before reaching the intended content. These are the kinds of the animations taken in the websites which force the reader to use the ads before they get into the site, because this is the kind of the option which emerges and the reader has to close this option and then go to the site to get the intended message. Then we have the intermediary model. This is the data about consumers and their consumption habits which are valuable. It is the independently collected data about producers and their products which are useful. Some firms functions as infomediaries, that is the information intermediaries, assisting buyers and sellers to understand a given market. So, intermediary model is that kind of website or that kind of basic business model which only works for the collection of the data information about the customers. So, they have large addresses of people and they have large number of emails and telephone numbers which generally are provided to the banking and to the other industries where companies, if want to organize some sales promotion, they need this data to reach to the customers. Merchant model, wholesalers and retailers of goods and services. They are the basic retailers and wholesalers. Sales may be made based on list prices or through auction. Virtual merchant or a e-tailer is a retail merchant that operates solely over the web. Then you have the catalog merchant. This is the mail order business with a web-based catalog. It combines mail, telephone and online ordering. Example is the Land's End. What is the merchant model? Here you have the virtual merchant and the catalog merchant. A virtual merchant basically works through the website and generally the goods and services are displayed through the website. Whereas the catalog merchant has the listing of the goods and services through a catalog and this catalog is floated online or offline to get the customers. Click and mortar, this is the traditional brick and mortar retail establishment with a web storefront. Then is the bit vendor, a merchant that deals strictly in digital products and services and its purest form conducts both sales and distribution only over the web, that is the Apple iTunes Music Store. Click and mortar is the traditional brick retail store which has a kind of an introductory website, that is a traditional store with the display of goods, but the information and the details of the products are generally given through the websites and the demonstration is also given through the websites. So, the stores are made popular through the websites, but a bit vendor is generally not a physical store, they do not have anything to store or not a physical location, but they totally work through the online media. And here the downloads and the other services are given through the transaction of money and the services are supplied to the customer. Then is the affiliate model. The affiliate model provides purchase opportunities wherever people may be surfing. It does this by offering financial incentives in form of a percentage of revenue to affiliated partner sites. The affiliates provide purchase point click through the merchant. So, what is affiliate model? These are the websites which generally provide opportunities to people to buy. They get associated with popular websites where the traffic is more and generally the revenue is shared in form of commissions. It is a pay for performance model. If an affiliate does not generate sales, it represents no cost to the merchant. The affiliate model is inherently well suited to the web, which explains its popularity. Variations include banner exchange, pay per click and the revenue sharing programs. Example is the Amazon.com. So, in affiliate mostly the traffic is built up and here the site popularity basically attracts both the buyers and the sellers. And generally even if you do not get sales on these websites, the brands get popular because lot of traffic is there and people surf these websites and usually the products are in eyes of people giving lot of advertising and they get the click and the revenues do increase in terms of making the popularity of the product, which adds to the sales volume in the longer run. Banner exchange. This is trades banner placement among a network of affiliated websites. Pay per click is the site that pays affiliates for a user click through. Revenue sharing offers a percentage of sales commission based on a user click through in which the user subsequently purchases a product. So, banners and other classifieds generally are given to the websites whose content is very popular or they have a credibility to attract the customers, And then pay per click is the how many clicks per classified advertisement is getting, and according to that the revenues are paid to the host websites. Let us see the community model. The viability of the community model is based on user loyalty. Users have a high investment in both time and emotion. The internet is inherently suited to community business models, and today this is more fertile areas of development as seen in the rise of social networking. So, community is generally a welfare model, which is a social forum to speak and to agitate, to cheer and to favor people. So, this generally makes leaders popular, countries popular, brands popular, and every emotion of people is shared without any greed of financial transaction. So, this is basically a site or a community model which brings up the popularity of people solely based on the emotions and the feelings. Open content. Open content, accessible content developed collaboratively by a global community of contributors who work voluntary. Example is Wikipedia. Public broadcasting, user supported model used by not-for-profit radio and television broadcasting extended to the web. A community of users support the site through voluntary donations. What is open content is, that is you update the material according to the latest happenings and the kind of the knowledge which is shared to the public. Whoever is generally aware of a fact or a information shares this information, because we are in the world of knowledge sharing, and this knowledge sharing can enhance the value for each user who is on the Wikipedia. So, this is a free website where lot of users come and share the information. Public broadcasting is a kind of a forum where radio and television news and information comes through the website, because here the sponsors are there who generally support and fund this kind of broadcasting, because this is in the interest of the public. Social networking services, sites that provide individual with the ability to connect to other individuals along a defined common interest, that is a professional hobby or a romance. This is social networking services can provide opportunities for contextual advertising and subscription for premium services. Example is the Flickr and the Orkut and the Friendster. So, these generally are the websites which they work in the online media and bring important ads and sponsors together. These sites are not for a reason, but they are for generally emotional connection, and they build friendships of people and connections in order to share their thoughts and feelings. So, these sites also can carry advertising and products to the larger public and get the popularity. Subscription model. Users are charged a periodic, daily, monthly, annual fees to subscribe a service. Subscription fees are incurred irrespective of actual usage rate. Subscription and advertising models are frequently combined. When you want to read a journal or a monthly newspaper, you generally subscribe it, and when you subscribe you pay a fees. Now, this subscription fees is generally associated with the advertising and the sponsors, which take the advantage of this and give a kind of a lot of other ads also associated with it, because they can earn from those sponsors. Content services. They provide text, audio or video content to users who subscribe for a fee to gain access to the service. Example is the listen.com or the Netflix. Person-to-person networking services are conduits for the distribution of user submitted information, such as individuals searching for former schoolmates. Example is the classmates websites. Content services are sometimes people do research, and sometimes people need information regarding recruitment, placement, hobbies, sports. So, these websites give information to people, but they have to pay a kind of a fee for it. And person-to-person networking sites generally is used for searching and making groups of people who are from college or universities or same profession or groups located locally or globally. Trust services. They come in form of membership associations that abide by an explicit code of conduct and in which members pay a subscription fee, example trustees. Internet service providers offer network connectivity and related services on a monthly subscription. Example is the America Online or BSNL services. So, trust services generally membership associations where like you have Commerce Association of India or other associations generally work for sharing field of knowledge or a study which generally is popular among people, and these people become members and pay a fees for that site. Utility model. The utility or on-demand model is based on metering usage or a pay-as-you-go approach. Unlike subscriber services, the metered services are based on the actual usage rates. This is how much services you need and what is the kind of the downloads you are doing. This is basically for entertainment and the films and the musics which we download from the websites. Metered usages, it measures and bills the users based on actual usage of service. Metered subscription allows subscribers to purchase access to content in metered portions. Example is number of pages viewed. This is this /.com. Frameware. What is frameware? There are 4 dimensions associated with it. One is the value proposition. This dimension implies that a business model should include a description of the product or service a digital organization offers to build value. So, frameware is we are framing presentations and values to create a kind of appeal in the market. Let's study value architecture. This portrays the concept as a holistic structural design of an organization, including its technological architecture. This is the organizational infrastructure and the configuration. So, when we talk about the frameware, the organizations in terms of the setup and the company profile are given, like when we talk about the banking and the insurance industry. Value network depicts the cross company or inter-organization perspective towards the concept and has gained much attention in the business model literature. Value finance depicts information related to costing, pricing methods and revenue structures. So, what are value networks? Basically, they are the cross-cultural issues and the inter-organizational relationship which depict the framework and the frameware of the organization. And the value finance relates to the costing and the money aspects of the organization. So, this is the total software which is known as the frameware, and this works as a popular form of business model in the virtual media. Now, let us study this total business model which generally covers many aspects where a network of travel magazines, financing and travel industry is given. In travel magazines, we have travel magazines and the classified ads. In financing, we have insurance and financing companies. In traveling, we have the travel agents, hotel reservation agents. So, this is the business model which generally is a network of areas where different areas of business members and the business fields generally come and they share the information and the addresses of people related to this particular aspect. So, a network of entertainment, insurance, banking and travel is connected to give every facility to the user which is required. When we talk about the linkages, it is the users, then you have the affiliate website, you have the linkages and the sponsoring merchant site. So, the business models generally have the users and the kind of the sponsor, that is whose funding agent is there, and then the affiliates and the linkages are created to sustain this business model in the market. Let us see the business model where the digital data is supported and how transactions go. You have a seller who has got the digital data and the content. Then the transactions are done in form of payment flow, information flow and the delivery schedule. And here the buyer basically reads the digital data and gets interested in the content and generally orders for a product. So, this is the total crystallization of the business model. Whatever the model is, whether it is advertising, the brokerage or the merchant model or the virtual model or the distribution channel, every model has a user and a kind of a buyer. They are connected by the transactions which are done through the online transaction or through the physical transaction. So, this is the information and the money transaction which builds the total architecture of the business model, which gives services to people. So, the information models in related to the banking, insurance and travel agencies impact the market in a long way, and generally the customers get interested to the services and they also get interested to the physical products. So, a total classification has been given in a detailed way. We have studied this lecture on information business models, where the models related to e-commerce have been discussed. These are the service and the online models which have discussed the details of the various forms related to brokerage, to advertising, to the classifieds and to the intermediary and the other models like affiliates, where the data is shared with the people. The inputs required is the content and the information. The money is in form of transactions which can be done through the banking and the other industry, and the buyers are the customers who are free and generally scattered all over the globes. The connections are fast, the sharing of knowledge is intense, people can connect on the basis of the quality of the products given or on the basis of the quality of the services, or only they can connect for the knowledge sharing or only connect for friendship or emotions. But the reason is that the virtual media is connecting larger public, crossing the boundaries of the countries and crossing the boundaries of the religion and caste, to build business models with value architectures where they function on the basis of efficiency and the cost to connect customer. I hope the students must have understood the advantages of the various business models which are generally working in the area of e-commerce. Thank you, students.